Hey everybody, I'm Solomon with ClickX. Today's marketing hack of the day, we're talking about SEO mistakes that you need to avoid for your campaigns. And you know SEO is really important because you have to drive traffic. You need to get more traffic month over month, year over year, and you need to focus on your SEO. But there are some mistakes that you can avoid. And if you avoid those mistakes, you're much better off. You'll have much more success with SEO. So let's get started.
Marketing Hack of the Day is brought to you by ClickX.
The number one thing that I see when companies are doing SEO and they're not really sure what to do, the mistake that they often make is that they stuff their title tags, they stuff it with more than a couple of keywords or the key term that you're really including about that page. They add 5, 10, 15 keywords into the title tag, thinking that's the only thing that you have to do to be successful in SEO, all right? So I really want you to know that if you add more keywords to your title tag, you're really diluting your SEO. You're not really adding more keywords. You're not really gonna get any more rankings. So stop doing that because it really hurts me seeing that there's completely irrelevant keywords all on the title tag, all jammed, stuffed together, thinking that that's going to help you. No, you really have to keep it very narrow focused, very limited to what is visible, which is roughly around 70 characters is what you can really show. Make sure that's what you're doing because title tags are a ranking factor. So you want to make sure you pay close attention to that, but also adding more doesn't really help you. Another thing I often see people do is they stuff the content with keywords, all right? So if you have, let's say 5 paragraphs, I'm just gonna use an example on your content page. Now you have the same keyword mentioned like 50 times. Every other sentence has the keyword in it, right? You can read normally with that keyword in the middle, but you think you need it to rank on the first page. Let me tell you, Google is much smarter than that. You can read anything. You can understand the whole entire content and all the engagement that's getting on that content page. So you don't have to stuff keywords, including your title tag and your content for SEO to work. Let me tell you, maybe that worked 10 years ago, but it's not the case anymore. You're just basically hurting yourself. It actually looks more spammy. It is going to get you more penalized than help you. So stop doing that. From today onwards, I don't want to see that. And I hope you also see that quality is much better in SEO than in quantity in anything or shape or form. So you want to work towards making sure that you're focusing on quality keywords, quality of content, and so forth, and not just stuffing keywords thinking that it's more of a mechanical thing. You just add more keywords and immediately you start ranking, all right? The next thing I want to talk to you about is your homepage slider. Everybody likes their homepage slider. Oh, my homepage slider, I gotta have my slider. I need like 5 videos or images and everything is sliding with those little circle buttons. I need it everywhere on my homepage. Can you add more sliders? Now, you probably don't read this anywhere on the internet because not a lot of people talk about this, but I found sliders to be not really good for you. All right, it's not effective. It actually adds more images and files and things that need to load, more JavaScript code maybe. Whatever it is, it needs to load more things. The more you need to load, the slower the site's going to be. And speed really, really affects your Google rankings, all right? And I know you care about your Google rankings. That's why you're watching this video. Now, I want you to go take a look at your website. If you have 5, 6 sliders loading, they're going all over the page, you're really not helping yourself. It's actually just going to hurt you because your homepage tends to rank for a lot of the pages, maybe because you have a lot of links coming to your homepage. But if you're hurting it with all these slider stuff that you just can't get rid of, or you can't see you living your life without these sliders, then you got to work on that part of your life because you need to get rid of these things. They're hurting you, all right? They're choking the speed of your website, and you don't want that. And I probably have made so much content about speed and so forth. I want you to stop watching this video right now. Go look at that. Figure out how many seconds, milliseconds your website homepage is loading. If it's loading any slower than 3 seconds, you're already in trouble, all right? It's time to call your developer right now. So let's start doing that the right way. Let's make sure if you really need a slider, if you need something big on the homepage, some hero image, just stick one thing. It's static, it doesn't change, and it's super optimized. It loads so fast, it doesn't hurt your speed, and it doesn't hurt conversions. It doesn't hurt Google rankings. So that's all I got to say about sliders. I feel much better. All right, moving on. Number 3, guys. Duplicate content. You probably read all over the internet, duplicate content's horrible for you. Well, really, my problem with people and content duplication is that you really are not willing to write anything. So what you think is, oh, this such and such company has done a great job in their services page. Why don't we just take it and tweak it a little bit, all right? Well, the problem is Google can see that, and it just reads really generic. It's not really good. You didn't put any love into it, right? So you're just basically copying content from anywhere you find, and chances are it's not going to be good for you in the long run. So I'm not saying that duplicate content is going to get you penalized. You're just going to be disappearing from Google. It's just not a good strategy. If you really want to do SEO, and maybe I should have said that, it's a long-term game, right? It's a momentum game. You're going to play this for forever. All right, you're not going to stop doing SEO to your website. So is it really healthy for you to just not have to put any effort into content? Maybe not. Maybe you need to invest a little bit more time. Maybe you need to hire journalists. Maybe you got to do some outsourcing. I don't know what you got to do, but you're going to need to work on content. All right. So if that's going to be your strategy, then you need to take a look at what you have right now. So you can say that, look, this is a lot of thin content. It's not really good. I barely have any content on this page. I need lots more content. You're just not going to hire somebody and duplicate everywhere else from the internet and call it your own content. So maybe you got to work on that and make sure that you're not duplicating it. Maybe, just changing it from reading it company services to services in such and such company, just reading it backwards or forwards, which is what a lot of SEOs are known for. If you can work on really creating good content, you're going to make huge shifts in SEO, all right, huge shifts. So I really don't know how else to convey this. You can probably read about Google penalizing content duplication, and it's got Panda and all those things that are going on. But I really don't want you to think about all those external factors scaring you away from having good content. I want you to think about, with good conscience, if I can really put out the best content, I'm going to win the SEO game. Think of it from that perspective, and you're already a winner. All right, let's move on to number 4. It's about keywords. We're finally talking about keywords. You're like, man, this guy hasn't talked about keywords. Well, don't worry, I'm talking about keywords. So when you're looking at your SEO, I want you to think about the keywords that you're optimizing for, because chances are they're probably not the best keywords for you. Maybe you're not really thinking through the long-term process of ranking for hundreds of keywords. Maybe you're just thinking about optimizing for a short tail keyword, say light fixtures. Oh, I just got to show up for light fixtures. Maybe your thing is something different. Maybe yours is a whiteboard. All right, you're in the whiteboard business, and that's what you do. And you think showing up for whiteboard is going to solve your sales problem. But my friend, I'm really sorry. Okay, the fact of the matter is the money is in the long tail keywords. It's not in short tail keywords. All right. If you're looking for money, which I'm sure you are, because you need traffic to generate leads, and leads are going to turn to customers, and customers can get you money, and you're going to grow your business, and you need more traffic, I got you. If that's your goal, which I hope it's your goal, you are already on the wrong track thinking that showing up for light fixtures is going to solve your problem. The chances are they're not going to buy that many light fixtures just because you show up for that. They want to buy the right kind of light fixtures that fits in certain areas. Maybe they need to have certain size, right, dimensions for warehouse versus retail versus office light fixtures. Maybe they need LED light fixtures. Maybe they need certain, like I said, square ones versus rectangle, the customizable one. So the keywords are endless when it comes to long tail. I've created content about long tail, which I'll link to in the description, but I really want you to think about long tail keywords. All right, because you might be losing a lot of traffic by thinking so narrowly and not really thinking about broad keywords. So I want you to think about what other keywords may be relevant to my audience that I could work on in terms of content, right? So this is the one maybe you'll read everywhere and anywhere, which is really ignoring your on-site errors and more of your on-site factors, if I may, right? There's a bunch of things that you read about. It's a big bucket of list. I mean, we actually have a site audit built into ClickX to fix this, because it's really hard even for a developer to find these things that are wrong with your website. So you need your SEO team and your development team and your resources to work together and make sure there aren't any on-site errors. And if you've never heard the word on-site and off-site, I'm going to give you a quick overview. On-site is all the things that are on page of your website that Google is crawling, and off-page and off-site are things that are on other people's website, like links that you get to your website. All right. So SEO is really a big bucket of on-site and off-site activities that you have to do to make sure that you're working on it. But I'm just talking about all of on-site in this number 5 of my SEO mistakes that you want to avoid, and I'm going to give you a couple of examples of on-site things that you should really pay attention to. I'll give you the big ones, and then you're going to have to use a tool or crawler or something to find all the small things, because I want to make this video really nice and short. So from an on-site perspective, I'm talking about broken links, I'm talking about 404s, right? So if you have a link that you link to a services page, but that page is now changed to what we do, and basically when that person clicks on our services, they're gonna go to a 404, right? You know that meta descriptions are really important to get good click-through rates. Another thing I want to talk about is schema, which are rich snippet markup that you put into your code that would tell search engines exactly what kind of content you are, whether you're a brand, where you're physically located, your social links to your Twitter, Facebook, and so forth. Maybe it's your product listing, maybe you're an author. All these things can be added via schema that will tell Google exactly what kind of content you have. It really helps them, and you want to make sure you're doing that. So these are all things I put into a big bucket of on-site items that I want you to focus on, because look, if you figure this thing out, SEO is going to be a lot easier for you. And one last thing is your robots.txt file, which tells your crawlers where to go and where not to go on your website. Make sure that's really, fixed up with, where do you want to not crawl and where do you want to crawl, because if you set up that wrong, like if you disallow your whole entire website, you could be dead in the waters. The last thing that you should really, really work on is ignoring mobile. Ignoring mobile is a big mistake. Chances are you're probably getting more visitors from your mobile than your desktop, right? If you don't have your analytics straight, it can get you in big trouble. Besides, this is where a lot of conversions happen for so many different industries, especially phone calls. People are filling out forms off of it. They're having live chat. They're doing everything off of the phone. If you don't think that's important, think about Google using mobile first index, right? It uses the mobile content of any website for all of its search rankings. Mobile first, think about that. If you ignore this, you're in deep trouble. So I hope you got some insights as to what you can do. What are some major mistakes that you can avoid so your SEO campaign could be hugely successful for you and your company? If you have any questions, don't ever hesitate to contact us. We're always here to help you out. Thank you for watching another edition of Marketing Hack of the Day.
3, 2, 1. Subscribe to our channel!
ClickX, helping businesses increase traffic, generate leads, and close deals.